Hi ladies, Dannii back with another Dannii's Details, and today I am going to be talking abdominals. So it has been a much requested video to be done. I have had the content written out for a good few weeks now, and I've finally found some time to get it recorded for you all and get it out there. So I hope this video is going to help you understand what makes up our abdominals, why we do, for example, the at-home workouts, certain moves, and why there are so many ab moves as well. And yeah, so I'm going to be looking to my right because I do have all of my written out information in front of me here. So we're just going to get to it and get going. So, oh gosh, where do we start? So again, the reason I wanted to cover this is because a lot of you did ask for it, and there is a lot of information. Plus, there is a lot that we do need to know about the abdominals for us to be able to continue doing what we're doing and understand why we're doing what we do with certain type of movements and things like that, and why we preach how important it is to keep a strong core. Very, very important. Can't stress it enough. So hopefully from what I tell you today, you are going to learn more about why. So let's start from the beginning. The abdominals are a lot more than what we think. Okay, so in fact there are actually 4 separate muscles that contribute to your core, your overall abdominal development. And yeah, so it's not just one, it's 4. You've got 4 different areas that make up the abdominals. So it's not 4 as in your upper abs and your lower abs, it's 4 separate areas, and I will explain that as we go. So what are these 4 areas? So we have the rectus abdominis, the external obliques, the internal obliques, and the transverse abdominis. So let's have a look at each of these more closely. I feel like I'm just going to move you guys a little bit to the side, so then I feel like I'm talking to you a bit more. So when people generally think of a six-pack, we are actually referring to what's called the rectus abdominis. They are positioned between the ribs, I don't know how I'm going to show this, so between the ribs and the pubic bone, and they're at the front of the pelvis, and it's actually further made up of 8 distinct muscle bellies is what they're called. So that's actually the, as I say, the six-pack that we see. If we see a very, very toned person and they have the 2, 2, 2, 2, that's the 8 bellies that make up the rectus abdominis. And when they contract, that's when they become more visible, and that's when we then see the chiseled abs on people. And that occurs if your body fat is low enough for it to happen, and obviously you've worked that muscle to build up and show. Also, the rectus abdominis is absolutely essential for maintaining good posture and is primarily responsible for flexing the lumbar spine. So that is the lower part of your spine just here. So it's very important for that. So for example, when we do a crunch on the floor, that's what the rectus abdominis is the primary muscle for that movement. Okay. So this muscle can be worked in 2 different ways, and that's either by bringing the chest towards the pelvis, so a crunch, or by bringing the pelvis towards the chest, i.e. leg raises, or you can do both of them at the same time, where we do our sort of leg raises and a bit of a crunch, multiple, that's good. And this is when we say that we're working the upper and lower abdominals. If you were to work them together, it kind of hits more of that middle area as well as the upper and lower. And you need these 2, especially these 2 movements, to be able to hit all of your rectus abdominis. So very, very important. And as I say, doing a crunch and a leg lift together, you're golden. You're going to get all of it. It's great. You're going to be working it both areas at once. So double trouble, we like that. So next, they also help regulate breathing and protect your internal organs by creating what's called an intra-abdominal pressure. Okay, so it's very, very important. They're not only there just to keep you upright, they're there to protect as well. So we've got to make sure we keep them nice and strong. So that's the biggest, well, more known muscle in the ab core area is the rectus abdominis. That's what most people think of is the core, and that's it. That's usually what we just think. So we just want the six-pack abs, and there we go, that's what we're referring to. But as I say, there are 3 more. So we're going to go on to the external obliques. So after the rectus abdominis, the external obliques are the next muscle to know about. And it's a common one most people focus on, as it is a visible difference that can be achieved. You can see the difference, which is why we also focus, well, not we, but a lot of people focus on the rectus abdominis, because it's a visible thing for us to see the difference in. So that's why that one and the external obliques are the most common ones. So as I mentioned before, there are 2 sets of distinct oblique muscles, so the external obliques and the internal obliques. But we'll go on to the internal later. So the external obliques sit on either side of your rectus abdominis. So if I stand up and show you, so they sit here, okay, and they are actually the largest of your abdominal muscles, and it is the muscle that allows the trunk of your body to twist. So that's where our oblique machine works, as well as doing our Russian twists and our at-home workouts, our trunk twists. What else do we do? I think, or our hip sort of twists. I know it was Kelly and that lot. I've done a couple of those. So the obliques are what help us achieve this movement. So, oh, I've got to explain how that works. So the twist motion is controlled by the external obliques on the opposite, I have to read this to make sure I get it right, opposite direction of what you twist. So, for example, if I twist to my right, I am actually using my left oblique, not the right. And then if I turn to the left, I'm going to be using my right oblique, okay? Quite confusing, and that is the external obliques, just bear in mind, the external. So if I go right, I'm using my left. If I go left, I'm using my right, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So what do? They help your overall posture. They pull your chest downwards and protect your organs by creating the intra-abdominal pressure, as with the rectus abdominis. So again, it's there to protect, it's there to help with posture, and helps us move in a twist motion. Brilliant. So best movements for this: trunk twist, as I mentioned, bicycle crunch as well, I forgot about that one. Side planks also use the external obliques without having to twist. They are what helping us hold that move. And then obviously we've got our lovely oblique machine that is designed to hit those muscles. So brilliant. We're going to work them. We're going to work both visible core muscles, being the external obliques and the rectus abdominis. Now let's go on to the more, well, lesser known core muscles. So we're going to go to the internal obliques first. So essentially this can be seen as the opposite of the external obliques, okay? They are located directly below the rectus abdominis and sit just inside your hip bones. They are responsible for twisting as well and turning, but they control the other side of the movement. So for example, when you twist to the right, you are contracting both your right internal oblique, but then your left external oblique. So basically this one, the way you turn is the way you're using that internal oblique. So it's going to be the opposite to the external. It's really confusing, I know, but hopefully it'll make sense. And since they control the movement on the same side of your body, internal obliques are sometimes referred to as same side rotators. So if I turn to the right, I'm using my right. If I turn to the left, I'm using my left. And they are just as important as those external obliques. They are there to essentially do the same thing: protect, help us twist, help us move. Very important to work. Often, I mean, obliques are a bit easier to make sure that we work, either external or internal, because it's a twist motion, so you're going to be working in both. But usually people just focus on the visible as opposed to what's on the inside, and on the inside is just, if not more important than what's on the outside. Now, transverse abdominis. So this is the muscle that a lot of people are not aware of, and this is why I wanted to do this video, and I'm assuming why a lot of you guys wanted to know a little bit more. it's a very important muscle and it is integral to holding your entire abdominal structure together. So this transverse abdominis has the biggest job. It holds everything together. It is the deepest part of your ab muscles, and they are located underneath the rectus abdominis and the obliques. So again, that's how it's all being held together through these transverse abdominis. So you'll never see this muscle visibly, never, never, ever, ever. You're not going to see it, but it doesn't mean that you should not work and focus on maintaining a functional, strong core. Again, it's the one that holds them all together, so we must keep it strong, because if we don't, it's not going to be held together very well, is it? So we've got to do what we can. And it's important for creating large amounts of stabilizing internal abdominal pressure. So as the others do the intra-abdominal pressure, this one has the biggest job of doing that. It's the biggest one to hold everything together and keep that core upright, keep us upright, keep us strong. So what workouts achieve hitting this muscle? Whew, are you ready for this? We've got, so going through the at-home workouts, we have planks, sit-ups, heel touches, Russian twists. Ab back machine obviously does a lot of that anyway. The ab back machine is designed to hit the rectus abdominis and the transverse, so that is designed to hit them both at the same time for definite. At home workouts, we do have to work a little bit harder, which is why we have such a variety of ab workouts, ab exercises, because we need to be able to hit everything. So yes. And then what's this next bit? All of these, as I say, exercises are important for helping you work your transverse abdominis, and that's why we have to, again, have that variety. And then again, luckily our two machines, the oblique and the ab back machine, do hit all of those in their own separate time. So obviously the oblique gets more of the obliques but a little bit of the transverse, and then the ab back gets the transverse and the rectus abdominis. So I don't know, I hope that helped you guys. It's very important to know more about how our body's made up and why we need to do certain things. So if we didn't keep a strong core, internal organs aren't going to be as protected as they should be. We're going to struggle to stand up, we're going to struggle to do our day-to-day activity because we're too weak to keep ourselves upright. Going back, well, to some of the exercises, the Supermans and swimmers, those sort of movements, and the ab back machine, it works the lower back. The lower back is part of that core, so the rectus spinae area is very important to keep strong as well, because that helps keep us upright, but it is the core that's going to be completely keeping us upright because we've got no bones. Just think about it. Below our ribs, there's no bones until we get to our hips. So obviously I know you've got your spine, but your spine can't keep all of this upright. It needs the help from our muscles. So this is why we need to keep our core strong. So when you are doing these movements, these exercises, focus on it. Make sure you're keeping it contracted. You're pushing through that muscle. You are not letting your arms do the work. You are focusing, you are doing them, and you don't skip them. Please don't skip. With the at-home workouts, if you do them, don't skip any of the ab movements. Do them. Very, very important to have them as part of an exercise routine. And like I say, you can't skip them when you're on the circuit, so haha. So yeah, I hope this helps. If you've got any other questions regarding the abdominals, let me know. I know it got very, I guess, kind of scientific a little bit, or just a lot of information. Yeah, I try to deliver it in a easy, digestible way, an understandable way. But yeah, there's a lot about the core that we need to keep strong. So that's all we need to know from this. Keep it strong, make sure we work it, focus on those abs, do everything we can. It's our protector, it's our keep us upright thing, I don't know. Okay then ladies, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll have another one coming up soon. Might have some more based on the circuit, learning some more about maybe the kiosks, things like that. I've got I've definitely got a list. But if any of you think of anything else that actually that might be a good topic to cover, let me know. The more the merrier, really. Okay then, I'm gonna head off now. I'll see you for the next one. Hopefully it won't be as long before I do another one, but hey ho, bye.